So, it's the fourth day of me living with my friend, and it was one of the best decisions I have ever made. But at the same time, there are many people saying that it's something you should do if you are a masculine man, that you should live with a masculine friend or another man that you respect, and you are working towards a very similar goal, or maybe even not that similar, but you are working hard together and you can push each other to go past your limits. But nobody actually says the truth about it, and it's something I have just found out. So basically, it's not like you will suddenly get a 150% boost in your cognitive functions, in your overall like physical strength and so on. No, you actually have to get used to living with another person, especially if you are someone who is not used to doing everything on their own. You just have to get used to it. You have to find your own regime, and you also have to connect with the other person, like get your two schedules connected in some way so that you can both work at the same time, so that you can eat at the same time, so that you won't like I don't know, interrupt each other during your deep work sessions. And also you won't be so efficient at first, and that's really something I haven't heard yet anyone talking about. So we have to keep this in mind. If you have the opportunity to live with a masculine friend, for sure do it, but don't expect the results to show right away. You actually have to get used to living with each other. So like the time management, the time when you will eat, the time when you work, it won't be so efficient as you might think. First of all, you have to get used to it. And now I will talk about like our regime that we currently have. So we have a strict diet. At the same time, it's not that strict because we have a modified carnivore diet. So we eat only meat, but it's modified because we also eat eggs and vegetables as well as cheese. So it's not only carnivore diet or a strict one. And I can definitely say that it's one of the best diets if you want to focus, if you want to improve your overall cognitive functions and so on. So definitely go for this one. But if you are focused on fitness, if you want to improve how you look, your physique, as mine for example, then you definitely shouldn't go for this diet because you will feel somewhat exhausted with in terms of your physical strength and so on, because this diet is mainly focused on improving your cognitive functions. So that's the main thing which you should think about. And the second thing that we have is that we wake up at 3 a.m. and we go to bed at around 8 p.m. But we weren't able to go exactly at the same time to go to bed because, as I mentioned, we weren't able to sync like our own habits with each other, so it wasn't ideal. We didn't have proper sleep, and I also had horrible sleep, so it wasn't ideal. But I can definitely say that my overall like productivity has increased in many ways, in huge ways, and so I definitely recommend that you would go and live with your friend or somebody who is like-minded as you are. But as I mentioned before, keep this in mind that you won't be able to work as efficiently as you might think right away. You have to give it some time. Also, there are a few other things which you have to keep in mind. I have actually written them on this board. I don't know if you can see it, but basically, trainings, if you are a student, school, if you are someone who has to go to work or has some sort of a part-time job, then that's another thing. And also the third thing is to prepare food the day before. And so basically for trainings, it's somewhat like connected to other two. So if you don't prepare or schedule the days properly, the time will fly by and you won't even be able to realize how fast it goes. So schedule what you want to do when you want to do it. And as for trainings, if you are focused or if that season of your life is focused on business, then try to keep those trainings short as well as mainly prepared and thought through, because if you don't prepare your workouts, you will spend much more time just thinking about what you should train, how you should train, and so on. So definitely prepare your trainings and schedule them. That's the same thing for preparing food. If you don't prepare it the day before, it can take up a lot of time the next day. Like, if I take an example from my experience, then I would say that we mainly ate chicken, and I had to prepare it, to butcher it basically. And if you don't do it the day before, it can take a lot of time for you to butcher it as well as to cook it at the same time. So I recommend that you will do it the day before. And as for school, that's the third point which I wanted to get to. I believe it was the third one. No, it was actually the fourth one. There is also shopping. I will go to shopping right now. So shopping is somewhat connected to preparing food as well as the overall schedule. So that's something you should be or keep in mind, that shopping can take up a lot of time as well. So before you go into the shop, just have a list or something like a shopping list, and go in there knowing what you want to buy and what you want to leave that shop with, so that you won't spend too much time thinking about what you want to buy. So that's technically the same thing that, as I mentioned with training, you have to go there knowing what you want to train. And as for school, if you are a student, then you have to keep in mind that it will take a lot of your energy and a lot of your just willpower in order for you to focus, to be able to schedule your day accordingly, even though you have school and you have to attend it. I actually hate the education system. There are many reasons why. I plan to make a future video soon talking about my recent experience, so keep that in mind and check that video. And so as school ends, you have a limited period of time which you have to use efficiently, and you have to bear in mind that you won't have as much energy as you had in the morning. If you are waking up early, as we have in our regime, then you have to be prepared that when you work in the morning and you sit around, waste time in the school, you will end up a bit exhausted after school. And so try to plan your days after school accordingly, so that you won't waste time and so that you will be still efficient. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, you can comment something so that you would boost the algorithm, and so that I will reach more people who are like-minded as you, and you can meet each other, text each other, and so on. So I will build like a strong community of people who can support each other. And also you can watch this video next if it's something you are interested in.